everyone, it's Eileen from There's a Crafty Idea, and I'm here with my Roxy's Weekly Challenge. I'm a little bit late, but we're going to still have fun with it. So, I've got some book covers, and the challenge was to get some converted book covers ready to put journals into. So I've got a few, as you can see. I've got quite a selection of different sizes and different types, and you know, these are just, when I've taken books apart, I always keep the covers, and I've got a little box full of covers, and these are just the ones that I picked out that I wanted to do, because I was thinking, you know, see how many we get through, we might be able to get a couple done. So I started with this one. It's quite an old one, but the spine on it it's not too bad actually. It's still quite solid, and I kind of like the patina on it, but I don't want to keep the front part. So what I was thinking was, and I love these end papers, these are the original ones for the book, so I want to like put something down here just to strengthen this a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to need a proper cardboard spine because it's pretty sturdy still. So I thought I might use like a strong hessian, and that might do the job. So I've got this, and it's quite a strong fabric, and I just thought if I cut that, oh, that's almost perfect. In fact, yep, that's about perfect. Oh, couldn't have gotten better. There, right, so that was not me being ready. I have got a few bits and pieces, by the way. Some things that I've got out. I've got some printouts as well of maybe pictures that I might want to use, and I've got some bits of fabric, and I've got a few different bits and pieces. Just, we'll see how it goes. I've got some corrugated paper, this is actual craft paper, it's not cardboard, and I've got some music paper and some old book pages as well if we need them, and just a variety of things, fabrics, old doilies, and all these. I've been working on some slow stitching, so I've got a couple of these. I did them just as like a larger type of snippet, but when I've looked at them, they look quite nice on a book plate. So, and this is a larger one that I was working on. I've had them sitting for a while thinking, you know, I'm going to use them on something, and then this video came along. So yeah, so we've got lots of bits and pieces to work with. So let's get this started. I'm just going to move all of this and pop it out the way while we do this. Right. Okay, so let's just, I want to make sure we've got plenty, and it is going to fray, but this is the type, it'll only fray as far as, you know, the last cut went. So there, I don't think it'll fray much more than that, but I'm going to give it, I want it to be pretty sturdy. So let's go about here. Now I think this is not the type of fabric that's going to rip, but because it's got quite a structured weave, you know, you can get a pretty straight cut on it, just following the line of the weave, the weft, warp and weft, it's a weft. It's one of them. So yeah, it gives you a pretty good guide. So I should be able to cut it without too much of a jagged edge, which I'm not that bothered about, because I am, like I say, I'm going to let it fray a little because I like that kind of look. We'll keep that for the others. And I think if you get a sturdy enough fabric on an old book, it's not like when you're making a cover from scratch, because a cover from scratch you need to give it a solid spine. Whereas if your books are pretty much intact like this one is, you don't really need to give it too much structure, you know, or too much extra structure I should say, and it allows the book to speak for itself when you're making the journal. And I kind of like that. I don't like altering, when I'm working with old book covers, I don't like altering them too much, because I think the book has a story to tell. It's got a story of its age, it's got a story of how it was made, it's got a story of everything to do with it, and I want to keep that. I don't want to put that much structure in that it loses that kind of organic feel. I think that's the word I'm going for. So I'm just going to pop that in, and let's get me fabric tack, because, you know, fabric tack, why not? It's the best thing for it. That's if I can get it to work. So come on, fabric tack. It's very cold today, and I lost a nail. Look at that. I was just like doing some housework and I was trying not to lose my nails and boom, it got caught and gone. I know, me and housework, it doesn't very often happen. But, you know, these things sometimes have to be done. I'm always happy when it's Halloween because then all the cobwebs look like they're supposed to be there. Yeah. Or when it snows and my garden looks like everybody else's because of the snow. I'm not a great gardener, I never have been. Right, so I'm going to bring that line down. It's just not wanting to play today. Come on, come on. I've ordered some of the icing bottles because I think, you know, it'd be better because my hands are, you know, not what they used to be. And I think it'll be easier in the icing bottles. I'm just waiting for them coming and we'll see. So yeah, old books. I love using old books in journals. I don't use them as often as I should. It's one of those things, you know, I kind of get caught up with starting from scratch with the covers. But I do love making an old book. And yeah, like I say, I like it to be a more organic kind of cover and not altered too much. So, you know, there's the book story is still there in the cover, you know. Like the end papers, why would you want to cover up such beautiful end papers as these? I mean, you can see the age in them. They're pretty strong. They're not like too damaged, just aged. And why would you want to cover that up? Because after all, it's beautiful. I've got a thing for end papers though. I really do like antique end papers. There's some beautiful patterns. In fact, I think there's a few digital artists have created some digital downloads with end papers, and I keep meaning to download them and forgetting. I'm just going to run some glue just underneath this card. I don't want that to start lifting. It's not lifting, but I'm going to run a little bit of glue just if I can get under the edge, just to keep it where it is. So kind of squash a bit of that fabric tack in, because I don't want that lifting and lifting the fabric up with it. So by just sticking a little bit of fabric tack underneath it, that should keep it where it's supposed to be. And then, because I'm not adding a lot of extra support here, I am using more glue than I maybe normally would. But that's because the glue becomes part of the structure that I'm adding in, even though, you know, it's not a lot of structure there. That gives it a little bit added extra. And I don't mind if some of the glue shows through. When it dries, it usually, you know, you can't see it. And if it stays, I can always put a bit of lace across. So let's just make sure we've got all the bits. And that should just support the structure that's already there, and it won't, you know, it won't deteriorate anymore because it's got the added extra support. And you can see it slightly at the bottom and a little bit at the top. I kind of like that. That's, you know, that's part of the course, and I just think it's it looks pretty when you can see them a little bit. Like I say, you can always put lace across if you don't like the finished effect, just as long as you've got some nice strong cotton fabric or linen fabric, even better. Right, I'm just going to use this goober rather than waste it. Where's my lid off me? There it is. Sorry for reaching over. Right. Oh, I think the lid's been snapped on me. Fabric tack glue. Oh dear me. Right, now that I should be able to continue working on that while that dries. So for the front, what I thought, I was having a look at different things that I had, and I did think that snippet that I made, the larger one, would work perfectly on this book. It is a bit bigger than I would have hoped to put on the front. It's a little bit skewy, but yeah, I kind of like that because it does sound, kind of incorporate the whole thing, and I like that. But I was thinking about doing something on the spine. Now I've got this, which is a pretty tablecloth thing, and I was wondering if, would that be too much? Oh, hair. Do you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that. So okay, let's keep thinking about it. What else can we use? I've got some of this. That's not big enough. We've got some. I don't want to. That's going to be a clash, I think. So let's see. I've got this, and it's a kind of a raw silk. Now I like the way raw silk frays at the end. So I wonder if maybe, I mean, I don't have to cover the spine. It's quite a pretty spine, so I may just leave it, but I just wanted to check this out. You know what? No, I don't think I'm going to, because it's going to take away. I kind of like the idea of the spine just being left, because I do like that. I might put some lace bits on. Let's have a look and see what bits we've got. Okay, how about popping that on? We could have this on and then those on. And I quite like the fact that they come over the top there. That's quite nice. So I'm just arranging things. And then they can just sit slightly across. I like that. That's nice. And then I've got these little bits. And these come off the same, it was a big doily and it's got like little bits and pieces. I'm sure there's another one of those squares somewhere. Bet you I can't find it now. I just got stuff. It doesn't take me long to make a mess, does it? Aha! There we go. So we could put one there and kind of one up in that corner. I'm liking that. I'm actually liking that. It's quite neutral, excuse me. It's quite neutral. But I kind of like the fact that it's kind of neutral. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. Right, so I want this part on first. Do I want to put some music under it or not? Because I've been toying with the idea of having the music paper underneath it. Well, let's tear that down first so I can see properly. And then I'll be able to gauge a better idea. Right, let's see. It's a little bit of music. Just kind of poking from underneath. Let's go with it and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll go about there. Is that about right? Let's see. Now I'm just getting bits everywhere. Doesn't have to be a huge amount poking out from underneath, just a little bit. I'll take it to there. Right. I'm not using the my phone timers this week. I'm using my camera timer because it's got like the up in this corner. You can't see it, but it's got the timer on. I managed to figure out how to get that on. I kind of like that. Let's see. Where's the other bit? And it's just barely poking out. Yeah, I think I like that. Right. I do want to get a little bit of distress on this. My little ink pad came. I mean, you know, it comes to something. When you've got to use the mini ones because you just can't get hold of the ink. But you can't get it for love nor money at the minute, the vintage photo. I've tried Amazon, I've tried eBay, I've tried online craft stores. It seems like everybody wants a vintage photo. Right, and what I might do is I might just abuse this just a little bit on the edges, just so it's not quite so neat. There we are. Okay, right, that's a bit better. I like that a bit better. Let's get some glue on. Right, now I'll put it on the back of this. Glue just does not want to play today, does it? And I've run out of glue stick. Can you believe it? Last time I went to the store, I bought 15 glue sticks, and I've gone through the lot. Now I'm gonna have to go and buy some more. And that was only a couple of weeks. Oh my goodness, using glue sticks like there's no tomorrow. Luckily, I don't think I'll need it on these projects today, but I'm going to have to go to the shop tomorrow and get some, because otherwise I'm stuck. What do I do with any glue sticks? The problem is I'll buy them and I'll bring them in, and then sneaky little hands will come into the craft room and say, "You got some glue stick, Mum?" I'm like, "Yes, but bring it back when you're finished." "Okay." And then I never see it again. Yeah, I like that. I kind of like that, and it's not perfect. It's a bit rough, a bit roughed up. I kind of like it's lifted a little. There we are. Yeah, it goes with the kind of shabby chic look that I'm going for. So now we need our Fabri-Tac. Right, come on Fabri-Tac, come out this time. That needs just clipping off a little bit there. There we go. Right, now so yeah, old book covers, a great place to get them if you don't have them, not in the middle of a pandemic, but charity stores when we're not in the middle of a pandemic are a good place to pick up old books. And I mean, it doesn't matter what the subject matter is really, unless you're looking for a specific book, but I get most of mine in charity stores. Whenever I go into a charity shop, I look for the old books, whether I need them or not, because, you know, well, it's just as well, because otherwise I wouldn't have had any to do this challenge with, because yeah, I would have had none. But you can also get them on eBay if you shop online. And the good thing about eBay, if you type in antique books, you can sometimes get a job lot. What they are, they sell them to pubs and restaurants for decoration. But you can pick up a box of old books for £10. I think I paid £10 for a lot, and I got a box of 15 books, and I got loads of covers out of them, because you know, they're in pretty good condition, and they've got enough age on them to kind of give it the age that you need when you're wanting to do these shabby chic type covers, or even a grungy type cover, you know. Plus you're not paying a fortune for a book that you're then going to, you know, take apart kind of thing. And if you look at the pages as well, very often they've got beautifully brained pages. So yeah, I like that. That's looking really nice. I'm liking that a lot. Right, let's get our little doodads on, and we're just coming up on 20 minutes. And we're fair way along with this. I may want to play with it a bit more, but that's not too bad. Right, oh, put it on there. Put it on that side. I mean, I did get all my bits and pieces out, but I still haven't gotten everything out. I've only just got like a few things that I knew I wanted to, and that's, you know, that's stuff that I've normally got lying about anyway. So if there's other stuff that I want to use, I'm going to have to hunt that out. Right, which way do I want this on? Is it better that way? I think it's better that way. Right, this is going to be a bit tricky because it is very lacy and the glue doesn't want to play again. I'm really going to have to find a way to work with this fabric without whinging about it. I love the stuff, I really do, but it's just such a pain. But this is the price we pay for art. So I hope everybody's keeping well. We're still in lockdown, and yeah, it's been a bit scary just lately, hasn't it? But things seem to be starting to look up a little bit. Every time I say that, some catastrophe happens. I should just stop saying it, shouldn't I? But I hope everybody's staying safe, and I hope that you're all healthy and happy, as you can be in these times. But yeah, it's been an unusual time, to say the least. I think we were all looking towards 2021 to give us some hope, and well, you know, we're blessed to still be here, and that's the way we need to look at it. I was looking out the window today at the beautiful trees and the garden, and I heard a bird, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's early for the birds to be returning. It wasn't a bird that's normally here during the winter. So I don't know what's happening there, but I was thinking, oh, you know, we are blessed. We are so blessed to have what we have. And, you know, there are some people who don't even have that, bless them. But yeah, this it just gave me hope to hear this little bird singing. Because if you've watched me for a while, you know how much I love the birds in my garden, and how it like makes such a difference to me to hear them singing. And so it was nice to hear. Now I like the way that comes over. I'll tell you what I might do just on this bottom bit. Let me see, where did I put the rest of that? Right, we've got this, we'll use this. I kind of like the idea of having a bit of music just on the back cover. And then maybe it needs something to go with it. What can we put with it? We could put one of those over it, couldn't we? Kind of have that. Like that. What else do we have? Where's my images? I don't know that I want an image on it. I don't think I do. No, I don't think I want an image on it, but I want something else. Let's have a look. Maybe we can use a little bit more of this. Just give it just a little bit of a... Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay, let's get some distressing on. I kind of like that. I like that layered effect on the front of and the back of journals, because it kind of, you know, it's interesting. It draws you in. It draws you into the piece, I think, which is great. Right, I'm not going to do that on that other piece because it's too fragile, but this one can take it. I mean, this is old music paper, but you know, it's quite sturdy, so what a difference new ink makes, isn't it? It's beautiful. Right, where's that glue gone? And I'm not bothered about getting all the way to the edges, because again, if it lifts, it lifts, and that's part of the beauty of the layered effect. But I do want it to be quite sturdy, so I will put quite a bit of glue on. Because this is a cover, it's an old cover, so it's picked up lots and lots of dust and dirt, and the glue will lift that, and then it will lift with the glue, it'll lift the page that you're trying to stick on. So it's always worth, when you're working with these books, especially this one's got a bit of a textured cover, it's always worth putting a little bit extra glue on, because also as well, when books get quite old, they get thirsty, and they tend to soak up a lot of glue. So you can see that's lots of glue on there. Don't mind if the odd corner lifts up, I just don't want it lifting the rest of the paper up. So once it's dry, it can curl and that'll be fine. Right, now this one. This one I don't want to lift up so much, just because it is a more fragile paper. So it's kind of, you know, it needs a little bit more tender concern. Plus I'm gluing that onto the paper that I've just glued on, so it doesn't need huge amounts of glue, because it's paper glued to paper. And then that just sitting in the corner like that will be lovely. And then that's one cover done. Try and figure out which way. Oh, it's blowing bubbles. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Yes, I'm off again. Mute now. Right. Okay, come on. Come on out. You know you want to. There we go. Right, I'm just going to get around the top of that. I'm not going to bother going around the edge, because, you know, it doesn't need that much, and the Fabri-Tac will keep it secure. There we go. Keep it right down so it just sits slightly over the page. Oh, I like that. I really like that. That shouldn't be on there. Get off. A string of glue. Yeah, that's nice. I like it. Very nice. So there's the front and the side, and then the back has got a little bit there. And then the inside, you've got these lovely end papers, which I don't want to destroy or cover up. And then we've just got this linen. And like I say, if once the glue's dried, we've still got these glue marks, I'll just put a thin lace over that when I put the signatures in. You won't see much anyway, because the signatures will be in there. But I'll put a thin lace over it. But that's our first one done in just under 30 minutes. Is that right? Yes, just under 30 minutes. Cool. Right, let's get on to another one. Which one do we want to do next? I kind of like this one. I like that one because I wanted to do a bit of a smaller one. The thing with using books, again, I'm going to check this one, and it looks in pretty good condition. It's got some wear and tear, but it's not too bad. It needs some extra glue under there, but that's fine. And it's got its end papers in, though this one is damaged. But that's okay, because we can put a pocket there, and that's fine. I'm not going to put the pocket in until I know what kind of journal I want to use, because I'll probably do a corresponding paper. But, you know. So I'm just going to glue these down. Yeah, so the thing with using old book covers that you've taken apart to make your junk journal is they tend to be their own sizes, and it's not very often you're going to find one that is a standard journal size. So you tend to have to cater to the size of the book cover, rather than making the book cover to fit the journal. Which is, you know, I kind of like the idea of having a different size journal anyway. I think it's a nice idea. So yeah, because like when I do me ladybird ones, me ladybird journals, they're quite small compared to normal journals, or standard journals I should say. Come on, I want lots of glue in there. Make sure you stay down. So yeah, so you've just got to cater to the size of the book rather than the other way around. And if you're using a digital, you can resize your digitals. You can do it in your print program, or you can, I mean, there are other programs. I'll tell you the truth, I generally do it in my print program, because I generally find that it's the easiest way to do it. I know there are other ways you can do it, but yeah, I'll just use my print program, because if you look into your print, if you've got a standard program, you can resize, there'll be standard resizing options there, and there'll be the option to resize it by percentage. So what I would do is, if you want to use one of your digitals on a book cover, an old book cover, I would try resizing it to a percentage that you think it might be, print it out and check it against the book, and that's how I do it. I check it by percentage, and that way, I'm just going to get a wet wipe because that glue's getting goobery. That way, you know, you're not going to be printing out a whole digital pack and it not being the right size. You're going to be able to check it per size of your digital. Or you can just print it out and use them like as, you know, it's an ideal time to make franking paper, collage paper, or find some other interesting pieces. Or what I like to do sometimes, if I've got a book cover with some beautiful papers, I'll keep some of the signatures, and I'll use the book paper itself as part of the journal, which is what I do in the Ladybird. I incorporate the book pages into the Ladybird junk journal, but you can do it with other books as well. So, you know, you just keep the papers from the book, take out one of the signatures, pick out the prettiest pages that you want, and then you can decorate those, and they can be part of your signature that you put in, or however many signatures you put in. Right, I think that's pretty firmly glued down now. So let's get some, I think I might use this on this one. I kind of like the contrast in the colour. It's kind of nice. So, I'm saying contrast, I mean the similarity. It's been a long day, folks. It's been a long day. So, and this is pretty strong. It is raw silk, but it's really strong stuff. So this will give it, you know, enough structure. And again, as I said, you know, this book's it's in pretty good condition. Whoops-a-daisy. Now, the only problem with raw silk is it takes forever to get all the threads off. Because they just want to stick to you. But we'll get there. It's just a bit of patience, that's all. I'm sure there's a song about that somewhere. Yeah, it's been a fun day, but it's been a long day. I normally film in the morning or the early afternoon, but today's been busy, so it's evening now, which is just, you know, it's a nice time of day to sit down and just do a little video. I like to sit down at this time of day and craft anyway, because I think it kind of ends your day off. It kind of gives you the end to your day that you need. Right, now, I don't know if this will rip that way. I don't think it will. So I'm going to cut it and try and get it as straight as possible. We'll give it a quick go, just in case. No, it's not going to. It's just going to pull and warp. So let's just try and get it as straight as possible. And then we'll let it, well, it doesn't help that it's not straight. There we go. Right, now let's pull some threads and see what we've got. Sometimes not being straight is much prettier than being straight. Right, okay, there we go. I'm liking that, I'm liking that. And again, I'm going to leave it just a little bit proud, because I kind of like that look, especially with something as pretty as raw silk, because I love the way it frays, and I love the effect you get. Now I'm going to go a little bit longer on this one, because it will fray a little bit more than what a cotton will, so you need it just slightly longer. And this is upholstery silk, so this is not like dress silk, this is upholstery silk. It's a little bit tougher, a little bit thicker, and it's got a good pull without there being any bias in it, so I don't have to worry about that. So I think sometimes if you use dress fabrics or fabrics made for clothes, they tend to have too much bias in them, and then, you know, they can kind of warp too much that way. This one's got a bit of bias, but it's not too bad, and it pretty much holds its shape. So there we go. Okay, now I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to check again to make sure that the book's, yeah, it's pretty solid. So let's get this in. And again, once you put your signatures in, that's going to give it some extra strength. I'm going to get right down into that crease this time, because I want the fabric to go right into that crease with the fabric, with the fabric from the book, so that it gives it that extra bit of strength. So yeah, just an idea when you're using like different fabrics, just be aware that they sometimes have quite a heavy bias on them, and that can create problems with your structure. But yes, when you put your signatures in, the structure will be a little bit more solid, because the signatures themselves will give it some sort of strength, and will kind of bolster the cover. I wonder if that needs, no, it's not lifting, that's fine. Okay, I think the Fabri-Tac must have warmed up a bit, because it seems to be cooperating now. Shh, don't say that, because it'll stop working. Right. Okay. There we go. And this one. Apparently we're going to have 10 centimetres of snow tonight. And I know that a lot of you who live in snowy regions are probably laughing at me, thinking 10 centimetres, really? That's nothing. But it's a lot. It's a lot for us. We're not used to snow, and it's not dry snow either. You know, a lot of places get a lot of snow, but they get dry snow. No, we get slush. So it's going to be 10 centimetres of slush. So I'm not looking forward to it in the morning. It's just going to be a nightmare. Yeah, we're not known for our pretty snow in the UK. No, we get horrible slush. On a really cold winter, you sometimes get a nice snow, but it doesn't last long before it turns into slush. Right. I'm gonna lift that a little bit, because I haven't got it far enough over. Come on, there we are. Right, I think that's about right. I am so stuck up with glue, it's unbelievable. Right, let's get that right in there, because I want that to support that spine really well. There we go. Oh, doesn't that look pretty? I do love this this raw silk. It's really nice, and you can see it is going to shred, and that's fine. I kind of like that, but I've got glue down here, so it'll stop anyway, and it adds to the aesthetic, so that should be fine. How lovely is that? That's gorgeous. I love that. And again, I will put a pocket there just to cover up that damage, but I'm going to leave the rest of the end papers, because I think they're very pretty, and they've got that touch of pink in, which I'm not usually a pink person, but I'm craving the pink at the minute. Right, let's see. Now this one's, I like that No More Hearts to Break. It's kind of a pretty sentiment. No more hearts to break. I don't know, is it pretty or is it me? Am I being silly about it? I like that. I'm liking the blue on there. Do I need to cover it up? Oh, it's got bunnies. Oh, you know, this could be an Easter one, couldn't it? Ooh. Ooh, now I'm thinking. let's have a look and see. What do we have? Let's see if we've got a picture. I don't want those ones. I've got some boho ones, which I'm not in the mood to make this a boho. That's blue and it's quite nice, but again, I'm not fancying. And we've only got 5 minutes left, so let's just see if we can pick something. I think all of these are like gypsified. They're quite nice. Oh, I like that. I kind of like that. Okay, I'm liking the colours. Do I like that one better? That's nice. That's got the nice blues in it as well, hasn't it? I don't think it's big enough. Okay, we're going with her. This is from Mrs. Coggs, and I think the pack is called Beautiful Mystic. So let's get some layering done, because I'm in a layering mood. I'll put a link down below to the Mrs. Coggs pack, because I kind of want that. Right, first of all, let's cut this down a little bit. Do we want... We could do it that way, couldn't we? And then we can still keep the bunny, but I don't think the bunny goes with it, so we'll do it this way instead. Yeah, okay. This is again one of those fabrics, it doesn't tear, but it's got quite an open weave, so you can see where you're cutting. Let's just cut it down this way. Right, let's get some fraying done. A bit more on the top. We're going to lose our bunny, but that's fine. That's fine. Right, now I want to keep that, so I don't want to cover that up, but I kind of want it to... I need something else under there, don't I? I need something else. It needs another layer. I like that because that's got the blues in it as well. I'm liking it. It needs something else. What more does it need? Let me see. What do we have? What do we have? I am looking through my papers. See if I can find something. How about some of this? How about we tear a little bit of this? I like that. That's a bit better. It still needs something else. It needs more colour. It needs a different colour. So let's see, what do we have in a different colour? Oh, some of our German. Yes, that's a yummy colour. I have to treat this one very carefully because it is very fragile. Maybe, you know, not using so much fragile paper on a cover would be a good idea, but yeah. Not with me. Right. I'm liking that. I'm liking it. It's the edges that's throwing me. So let's see what we can do about that. It's too pretty along the edges. It needs a little bit of distress. So I'm just going to use the edge of my scissors. You can actually buy a distressing tool, but I just always use my scissors. Just using the blade of the scissor just to rub across the... And you can see it's distressing it. And it will also, you know, you can also put a little tear in it. There we go. And I just want to fold that back a bit. There we are. Now let's get some distressing ink on. Take away the white bits. Right, now. Much better, much better. I'm liking that a lot more. Now, cover, spine. what do I want to do with the spine? And I'm just about to run out of time. Well, we've got one finished and we've got one well underway. I thought I might be getting two finished, but hey ho. Right, we've got some more of this. I'm just going to carry on. So that's our time up. We've just gone 45 minutes. So yeah, we've got this one finished. I've got bits of paper everywhere now. Oh no, paper stuck. We've got this one finished, which I love, and it's gorgeous. And that one was fully finished. And we've got this one prepared and we're just decorating it. So let's just carry on and see where we get to. I like the idea of maybe... I wish I had like a longer piece of that. Do I have a longer piece? I do, yes. Right. Maybe if we put a longer piece on, that can go kind of over, and then that can sit kind of like, let's get rid of that because we'll not need it. Can sit kind of like that. And then that'll give that spine a little bit more strength. Do I like it? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I think it's too much. We'll stick with a smaller piece. We'll stick with a smaller piece. Put it that way. And then we'll stick that there. So it's kind of slightly up a bit. And then that. And these two, and then that. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. And you can still see the No More Hearts to Break, which is a kind of a romantic type thing. And you know what? I might leave the spine. I don't think those doilies will look. Although, you know what? I actually like it. So I'll change my mind again, and then maybe. Okay, let's get some of this down. Let's get some of this down. Let's get some fabric tack. Right. Come on, fabric tack. This is upholstery fabric that I got. It's vintage upholstery fabric, and I bought it in York. There was a vintage shop, and there was a couple of rolls of vintage fabric, and it was all like upholstery stuff. So I bought it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It was, some of it's like, there was quite a big piece, and then there was lots of little pieces, all like obviously where someone's used it to do some upholstery of something. And there was all sorts of odd shapes, which is great because, you know, sometimes you need odd shapes. Square doesn't always do it. But yeah, it was it's lovely stuff, and it's quite thick as well, so I kind of like the idea of it being quite thick. It adds that texture to your book. Now come on, Fabric, you were working before. Work again. I'm having to really squeeze to get this to come out. Come on, come on. There we go. Ugh, me and this fabric tack. Right, now let's get you right on the corner. Quite low down. I don't mind the fringe going over the bottom a bit. So that's good. There we are. I'm just going to turn my heater down a little because it is starting to get very hot. There we go. There we are. Right, now this is our next piece, and I want that to be slightly higher, and I don't mind if it goes over the spine a little bit. Oh, that perfect little bunny. I have got some more of this somewhere, so we'll have another little bunny. Don't worry, Mr. Bunny. I've got more of you. I've been looking at Spring Digitals actually, because I'm I'm dying for spring. It's just my wishful thinking that this is going to be a short winter. It won't be, but it's my wishful thinking. So I've been looking at spring digitals and spring junk journals and thinking about what I want to do, and oh, I've got some wonderful ideas. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Because I was going to do a winter one, but now I'm like, I'm over the winter. Let's do spring instead. let's let's draw spring out and try and get it to come play out early. There we go. Okay. Right. Let's get you the right way up. Not that it really matters with this pattern. I don't think it really matters at all, but right. Let's make sure you're nice and firm. There we go. I'm liking that so far. I like the fact that it does come over that a little bit, and the fringe does come over the bottom a little. That's fine. That's good. Now let's get some distressing done. And again, I think I'll just treat it a bit badly. It's good thick paper so it can handle it. I kind of like this layered, like, paper and fabric look. It's very chic, very shabby chic. Oh, I've got a volcano going on. Where's me wipe? There we go. Choose the rest of it on the back here. And this should keep this paper nicely on that fabric, because it can be a bit tricky when you're using different mediums to get them to marry together, but the Fabri-Tac's quite good at that. That's why I love it so much, even though it doesn't love me. Does anybody else have this much trouble with it? Or is it just me? Come on. There we go. Right. Don't volcano. And I want to kind of put that more towards this side. There we are. Lovely. Okay, let's go a little bit more of the ink on here. Again, like I said, you have to be a little bit more delicate with this one. It is a very old book. I do love these old German books though. The text on them is absolutely beautiful. Needs a tiny bit more at the top there. There we are. Right. I'm going to use the other glue for this. Just because it's paper to paper, so it doesn't need the Fabri-Tac, and so I don't have to fight with it. Because it's putting up a good fight today. I shouldn't have said it was starting to work. Pop that in that top corner. Okay. And then I need a little bit more. Let's just go a little dab of ink. I think nearly all the papers I'm using on this book today are around about 100 years old, which is nice. It's nice to get to use these antique papers. I mean, I could have used a glue stick for this bit, but I think when I'm doing covers, I want them to stick on more. I want them to be more secure. And as good as glue sticks are, well, some of them, I think it's a good idea to use a tacky glue, because it's going to have a little bit more kind of, what's the word for it, a little bit more abuse than the inside of the journal's going to get. Right, now I want that one down here. Right, which way? Right, Fabri-Tac, work, please. Stop sticking to me. Stick to anything but what I want you to stick to. Oh, come on, come out. Do me a solid. There we are. It's a bit better. A little bit on that outer edge where I'm going to put the photo over. So I want that to stick down pretty well so it doesn't lift the photo with it. So that goes there. That's better. There we go. And then I want the photo. I might put it down just a little bit. Kind of like the idea of having it a little bit lower down. Right there. That looks good to me. I do love this pack from Mrs. Coggs. Beautiful Mystics. I think I told you that it's called Beautiful Mystics, and it's got some beautiful Renaissance images and like beautiful ladies, and yeah, it's just gorgeous. Very classical pictures, lovely. Right, make sure I get plenty on here. I don't want you coming back up. Right, Fabri-Tac, I've had enough of you. Right, let's get this here. About there, I think. About there looks good. Keep that pressed down. There we are. Do I want that on? Yay or nay? Shout at me now and tell me what you think. Yes or no? I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it. Okay, Fabri-Tac, I put you away too soon. Come back, all is forgiven. Yeah, I like that idea, and it's just, these is just it's an antique doily that was damaged, so I cut it to pieces and I've just used the bits as decorations, as you can see, and it makes a nice little change to having just a standard lace, because these are crocheted. I think some of them, this one's not, but some of them are crocheted by hand, you know. So they're quite nice to use. I like that. I like the way the colours work. Picks up the blue in our dress and the purple of our shawl. Kind of, it all melds in with the purples and the fabric and the blue of this fabric, and then yeah, and the creams. I like the way the creams bring out her skin tone and gives it that nice blush. So I like that. And then we've got inside, we've got the silk, and I don't think I want to do anything to the spine. And actually this one says Durham County Council Community Library. You know what, I want to leave that. That's a piece of history. That's a piece of history to tell you where it came from. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave that, and I kind of like that it's still got its title. Yeah, so we've done 2. We've managed 2. So we've got 2 covers done in 45 minutes. Well, no, we've got 1 cover done in 45 minutes and half a cover done. So it's took us about an hour, just under an hour to do 2. That's not bad going, you know, that's not bad going. And I've enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the next challenge, which should be out today. So yeah, that'll be fun, and we can do the next challenge and get that one done. I'm really enjoying these, Rachel. Thank you so much for doing these challenges. They're just such, it's so nice to get back to doing things, you know, that you might have forgotten about. So yeah, thank you for that. And great inspiration. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Please drop a like if you do, subscribe if you like watching my videos. It all helps, and Thank you so much. Stay safe and take care, and happy crafting. Bye.